Hey YouTube, Matt here, bringing you my deck profile and tournament report from this week. As you can probably see already, I played Hieratic Rulers again. A couple of changes from the last time I ran this in the physical form, but this is basically the same deck that I played online for the live stream, minus a couple of extra deck things, just because I don't have the money. So first, we've got the 3 Tef, then we've got the 3 Sue, and the 3 Aset. Basic 9-card Hieratic engine, it's the main part of the deck, so it's stable to run them all at 3. Then the Rulers, 1 Tempest, 1 Tidal, 1 Redox, 1 Blaster. Then the vanilla tuners of the deck, the 2 Guard and the 2 Labyrinth. Then the other 2 tuners of the deck, the Debris and the Influence. And that's it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells. Singles, we've got a single Wingbeat, a single Sark, then 2 Convocation, 2 cards Connaissance. I still think this is fine at 2, I'm not sure I'd ever run it at 3. A couple of times in the day it was dead, I ended up just setting it as a bluff, which is obviously fine, but you can get to a Guard or a Debris or something relatively easy with the searches from the Dragon Rules if you've got one in hand, so it's always good. Then 2 Dragon Shrine, still very tempted to try and put this up to 3, because often turn 1 you want to be able to make your return play and have another big dragon, because then you can make an Atum and Draco Sack turn 1, which is really strong. Then 3 Upstart Goblin. Kind of tempted to take this out now because of obviously Soul Charge. Each one of these is a free summon from Soul Charge, so I might switch these for card Ds or maybe some more traps. And then speaking of Soul Charge, I played 2. Very, very strong all day. At some points I was paying 2,000 or 3,000 just to get a presence back on the board because there's so much in your grave. Then moving on to the traps. If I can scrunch these up. I played 3 Reckless still. 3 Reckless is still good. You want to get into the deck as quickly as possible. 2 Skill Drain, still one of the most powerful cards in the deck, and just really strong against nearly every single matchup. I think it only went out for 1. Then 2 Blackthorn. After Saturday, I'm definitely going to take these out for Bottomless and TT, because there was way too many situations where either Bottomless or TT would have helped me a lot more, stopping the plays early rather than stopping the Exceed or the Synchro play. Then the final card in the main deck, 1 Solemn Warning. Okay, moving on to the extra deck. The extra deck is unchanged from the last profile in a sense, but this time I was actually running the Draco Sack rather than having only just got hold of it. So starting with the Synchros, we've got the 1 Black Rose, the 1 Stardust Dragon, the 1 Colossal, the 1 Scrap, the 1 Crimson, and then the 2 Big Beaters, the Leo and the Star Eater. And then for the Exceeds, the 2 Atom, key Exceed of the deck. Still had a couple of spots, so I left in the Gauntlet Launcher. Was quite glad I did. There was one situation where I wanted to just get off 2 spot destructions to stop the player, so I did use the Gauntlet Launcher. Then the 1 M7, did use this for a recovery play, just because it needed doing at that point. Then the 1 Gaia, still want to get a second one of these because I'm still having to be slightly conservative with playing it. Then the 1 Master of Blades, still don't have 2 Draco Sack, so it's just another option there. Speaking of the Draco Sack, ran that. Surprisingly, didn't get it off a lot throughout the day. It wasn't really an issue, but I just never really got it off. I summoned it, I think, once just to get some extra damage on board, but I'd clogged up at that point, so there wasn't space for tokens. And then finally, the Big Eye. Then for the side deck, just a couple of single offs first. The 3rd Skill Drain went in quite a few times, still want it to stay there. Dropped down to 1 Prohibition. I managed to get my Veilers back off Brad, so they went into the side. But I decided to keep the 1 Prohibition in, and in fact, playing against Lewis, like I can't remember which round it was, 2 or 3, I'll go over the rounds in a second. Prohibition won me a game against him, just being able to go turn 1, Prohibition, call on Harpy Lady, they're pretty fucked. Along with a bad hand, I won that game and then eventually matched quite comfortably. 2 Effect Veiler, these went in a couple of times, really good. 3 MST, just for spell and trap destruction. I'm kind of tempted to put in like another Wing Beat or something into the side, just for extra spot destruction. I'm not sure yet. 2 DNA. The one time I should have sided these in was against a spell counter deck round 1, but I decided not to for some deranged reason. Other than that, they didn't get sided in, but they're still very strong. Debunk, really good. Played them against the what's Lucas's deck? I've forgotten already. Dragoonity Rulers, and I think that was it. But debunks are just really strong. DD Crows. These ones, I think I'm going to take the DD Crows out, because I think with the debunk and other related cards, they're not that much needed. I don't know quite what I'm going to replace them with yet. I don't know whether to replace them with like Overworks or something like that, just for Fire Kings with like Tenki, or Fire Fists are still a thing. But yeah, I'm not sure about that at the moment. And then 2 Max C. So pretty much the same profile as last time. So I'll just get some things out to show the camera, and then I'll get my matchups up on my phone. So round 1 was against a spell counter deck. Game 1 was relatively straightforward. Game 2 was just a grind game. Again, it ended up being straightforward, it just was really slow. So I ended up winning that 2-0. Round 2 was against Lucas. Lucas just drew bad both games, to be fair. The one thing I remembered from that game was Game 2, I ended up using Soul Charge for 3k, bringing back a Crimson Blader, so that the next turn, I could, if he'd set something, because he was on the back foot, he had like 1 card in hand, and I had totally cleared his field. So if he had set something, I would have been able to use the Crimson Blader to stop him making any big plays. Then I also brought back a Flamvel Guard and an Atom. I brought back the Atom just again as a beat stick because I had nothing else in grave really or hand to do, so I was just putting stuff on board. The only thing I had in my grave of use was a Redox, which I then used with the Guard to go into a Stardust, and that field won within 2 turns after that, so that was a 2-0 as well. Round 3 was against Lewis, which was a really great match. I got game 1, game 2. What's that? I'm having to read my own things, and autocorrect is a thing. Oh yeah, I remember. Game 2, I had a much stronger board. Lewis was really on the back foot. I had, I think, it was like 4 or 5 really strong monsters. I'd got, I know I had Big Eye in defense mode and had taken, I think, Channeler or something. But one thing I'd done is I'd left an Atom in attack mode. So what actually happened was he managed to use the field spell, something else, and just got like a Queen up to 2-9 or something. And at this point I'm on like 1-3 because I just soul charged a couple of turns back, and he just managed to attack over the game. So I lost that through a misplay. Game 3, as I said, while I was going through the side, I opened up Prohib, and that just basically won the game from there. I managed to get off 2 Su Tef plays because I drew into 2 sets of them. And oh yeah, game 1 was triple reckless. I was cut into triple reckless, so I won that really easily. Round 4, I've not put who I was against. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, round 4 was against Black Wings. Game 1 and 2 relatively straightforward. Game 3, I thought I opened really strong. I opened up 2 MST, a debunk, and turn 2 I ended up going to a Leo Keeper. I remember I debunked one of the Kalus that you tried to get over, just attacking with the Shura, trying to get over the Leo Keeper. The turn after that, I ended up getting, well, no, I'll say I went Leo Keeper because I could have gone into Star Eater. I went Leo Keeper thinking, right, he's not got really many options to get over me. Maybe like an Icarus attack or something, but as long as I keep this stuff off board, it's really his only option is Dark Hole. So the turn after he draws into the Dark Hole, and then he also had Dad, really early game, had the 3, and just basically won from that. Then I moved on to top 4, going 3-1. Played against Brad. The only way to summarise that is I cut Brad, God, both games, and just got utterly destroyed. So that's it for my profile and tournament report this week. Probably not much I'd really change about the deck, except for, like I said, the both Blackhorns definitely coming out, and maybe like a couple of twigs on the side deck. So I may or may not be running this at the next event. I'm unsure at the moment. If I'm not running this, I'll probably be running something like Dark Worlds, or I may nab Sam's Madolches or something. So, okay, see you next time, and bye!